Hello again and welcome. My name is Tim Moody. I'm the Public Information Officer with the Randolph County School System. I'm here with our Superintendent, Dr. Gainey. Each month we come before you for these From the Desk of interviews. Each month we like to travel out to a different school, and this month for November we are at Southwestern Randolph High School, a great school. Dr. Gainey will give you a chance to talk a little bit about this fine school.
Well, Tim, this is a great school, and in my opinion, it's one of the best high schools in North Carolina, and it just keeps getting better every year. If you watch the school's performance academically, it just continues to move forward. There's great staff, and the principal, Sean Hildreth, has been here. This is his 7th year here as principal. Just very proud of what happens on this campus every day. Great students, great student body. So again, I will tell you, I think this is one of the best high schools in North Carolina, and I just continue to watch the great things that the kids do every day on this campus, and great leadership from the staff here. Just the teaching staff and support staff is just tremendous on this campus. A very positive environment here, so very proud of Southwestern Randolph High School.
And already this year there have been a number of new and exciting things taking place on the campus, specifically with regard to the football stadium. So update us on that.
Well, Tim, we've had 2 very special events on this campus this fall. On September 21st, we had a ribbon cutting event for the newly renovated stadium. We were able to come in as part of our 9-year facility upgrade repair plan that was approved by the commissioners several years back. We replaced the visitor stands and the home stands in the stadium, as well as the press box. So we completely renovated the football stadium, and on the 21st of September, we had a ribbon cutting event at halftime of that football game. And then another special event occurred on October 29th. On October 29th, we had a ceremony to announce the naming of the football field in the stadium after Charlie Chapman. Charlie Chapman is a longtime coach here, longtime athletic director, very supportive community member to this school's campus, and just a great event, and it's a great opportunity to recognize him and for his great work at this school in past years. And so on October 29th, we announced that, and we honored him that night at halftime and his family. And so that was the second great event this fall to occur on this campus.
Well, again, we're coming to our audience today from the southwestern part of Randolph County, but if we could, let's travel over to the eastern side of the county for a moment and talk about Eastern Randolph High School, a big event on that campus last week with a ribbon cutting. So tell us about that.
Well, on Thursday, November the 8th, we did have a big event at Eastern Randolph High School, and we've been working on a project for over a year now. Our school system received Golden Leaf funding from the Golden Leaf Foundation to implement a metals program at Eastern Randolph High School. So with that program, we had to build the facility and bring in the equipment. And we've been working on it, like I say, for over a year, and the ribbon cutting was last Thursday, and just excited for the kids at Eastern Randolph High School, excited for our school system to have that metals program there. We had a great turnout for the ribbon cutting event. I want to say thank you to our board for supporting the project, the staff members who were involved, Marty Trotter, Larry Chilton, and Randy Wilson were very involved, as was Nancy Cross. And I also want to say a big thank you to our county commissioners, because when we applied for the Golden Leaf money, we applied with Asheboro City Schools and Randolph Community College as a 3-way application, but the application would not have been able to be submitted had the commissioners not been willing to put in $240,000 of matching funds, because none of us 3, Asheboro City, Randolph Community College, or the Randolph County School System, could have found that money to do that matching cost. So I want to say a big thank you to the commissioners, but very excited to have that program at Eastern Randolph High School. And what's even more exciting is now there are only 12 programs, metals programs in North Carolina on high school campuses. And with the opening of the one at Eastern Randolph High School, we now have 2 of those 12.
So we have moved from the hallway into the media center here at Southwestern Randolph High School. And now, Dr. Gainey, I want to talk for a moment about the Piedmont Triad Education Consortium, what we know as PTEC. Each year they give out a special award. It's called the Signature Schools. And our 2 schools this year to be recognized are Braxton Craven School and Randleman High School. They will be recognized at a breakfast on December 14th. I want to give you a chance to talk about those 2 schools.
Well, Tim, Randleman High School and Braxton Craven being identified as the signature schools for our school system is well deserved for both of those schools. Dennis Hamilton's been a principal at Randleman High School for the last 5 years. This is his 5th year. And if you watch during his time as the principal of that school, the school has just continued to get better every year. David Cross is in his second year as principal of Braxton Craven School, and in his first year, the school just made tremendous growth and improvements academically, and just very proud of the staff at both schools and the student body at both schools. I mean, it's just a great environment when you go on both of those campuses, and just very proud to see those schools recognized for their great work. And you know, when you talk about recognizing the school as a signature school, you're recognizing the students for their great work, the staff for their great work, and the principal and his administration, his or her administration, for their leadership of the school.
So talking about Randleman High School for just a moment, a big event there last week. You know, several of our schools host Veterans Day events, and Randleman High School, along with Seagrove Elementary School and Grace Chapel Elementary School, hosted such events. I know you had a chance to attend the Randleman High School event, and I was there as well. What a great event that is.
It is, and I've been to the Randleman High School event every year I've been here, and it's just something about that event. It's very special. Dennis Hamilton and his staff do a great job. Students lead the ceremony for the most part. You know, we had the chorus performing, the band performing, but the biggest part about that event is we're honoring individuals who did great things for our country, and we should, you know, we should always be honoring our veterans, because a lot of things we enjoy in this country is because of their hard work and their sacrifices. So I was very excited to be able to attend that event this year again. And I know I attended Seagrove's last year, so I'm very proud of our schools for the way they honor our veterans this time of year, and I just hope we continue to do that in the future. And like I say, we should be honoring our veterans every day of the year because of the great sacrifices they made for us to enjoy so many things in this country at the present time.
So we have moved from the Media Center to another hallway on another area of campus. Dr. Gainey, you want to just take a moment to talk about the fact that so many things happen in our schools that a lot of community members just never really get to see or are made aware of. And just to give an example of that type of thing, at Ramseur Elementary School, their student council representatives chose to run for president, vice president, and secretary, and they created campaign posters. They wrote a campaign speech. They delivered the speech to the entire school. They had a voting day on November the 5th so that students could cast their ballots, and they even had a retired voting booth that they used. So they really simulated an actual voting experience. What do you think about when you hear about an activity like that in a school?
Well, Tim, I think anytime we can expose the children to things that are going on in society, such as elections and the importance of them participating in elections, I think that just is great. And you know, we have these leadership positions in schools, and I always love to see the students pursue leadership opportunities in schools as well. So I think it's twofold. Kids get a chance to be leaders in their own schools, and they also get to experience what some of the things they'll experience later in life with like elections in society. And so I think you have a win-win with that kind of event, and just appreciate the staff at Ramseur Elementary School scheduling that and planning it that way to make it kind of a real life situation for the children.
Okay, so switching gears just a little bit, let's talk a little bit about the Principal for a Day program. It's a program that many in our community may not know about. It's an initiative of the Business and Education team, which is part of the Ashburn-Randolph Chamber of Commerce. And what it is when members of the business community actually travel to schools and shadow the principal for a day to really get a taste of what it's like to have a typical school day. And so I know Southwestern Randolph High School is one of the schools participating in the program. What are your thoughts about a program like that?
I love the idea. I think it just adds to another layer of transparency. You know, to get better, sometimes the way you can improve is by people who don't see your operation every day seeing what's going on, and maybe you get feedback from that that's helpful to improve your school. I also think it helps out in the community, because sometimes we work in schools all the time, and sometimes people don't realize everything that goes on during a school day. And it does help provide support for your school out in the community, because these business leaders get a chance they get the perspective of the principal, and then they can talk about it in the community with other business leaders. And so I think it's kind of like the Ramseur Elementary School election scenario. I think it's a win-win. I mean, it helps community members understand better what's going on with principals every day, And it also, you know, as a principal, I learned a lot from the parents of my school, and both schools I was principal of, they were in different professions in education, but in talking to them, I learned a lot from them that in many ways applied back to the school level. So I think that interaction between the principal and the business leader is tremendous, because there is one side of the principal. The principal is a business leader, him or herself, because they are the financial side of a school, running a school. So I think it's a great thing. I just think, and again, I'll go back to, it's another layer of transparency. Bringing the community in to see what we're doing, and also being able to share what we're doing, but giving them a front row seat to what's happening every day in our schools. I think that only helps in the long run.
Well, so Dr. Gainey, there certainly is no shortage of events that go on in our schools. Any number of the ones we could talk about, and then there's some events that don't necessarily take place in our schools but involve our schools. One of those was the All-County Chorus that took place back on October the 30th. You and I both were there. What a great event. Give you a chance to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, Tim, the All-County Chorus event is an annual event. We do that event in partnership with Asheboro City Schools, and I want to start by saying a big thank you to the high school, middle school chorus teachers who worked so hard to plan that with Kat Berry, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. It's always a special event. It's always held at Asheboro High School. And you know, I always leave that event with just, you know, this feeling of we have unbelievable talent among our high school, middle school students in the musical area. I mean, just to hear those two, the middle school chorus performs, then the high school chorus performs, and you're hearing kids sing, and it's almost, it's at the professional level. And so I just want to say a big thank you to everybody involved in planning that event and making it occur every year, and I also want to say a big congratulations to the students for a wonderful performance on that night. Every year it's a great event, and I look forward to it every year, and this year it will end up being another great event for our school system and for our kids.
And so I would like to let the community know that we have a performing arts calendar on the homepage of our district website. Easy access, you can click there and see for all of our schools the events that are coming up, especially now with the holidays coming. The schools all have events and give you opportunity to check those out. All right, now talking about an event in a school, let's travel inside of John Lawrence Elementary School. They had a big arts event that I know you had a chance to attend yesterday, so tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Tim, that was an exciting event. I had a chance to visit the school during the arts event yesterday. When I went in, they had different stations set up in different classrooms. You had dancers, musicians, artists. You had pottery in several classrooms, and what was really exciting was to see the children interact with the presenters in each classroom. I want to say thank you to the staff and to the principal, Anthony Warden, for their hard work in planning this event. And you know, these events like this allow us to expose children to other areas beyond the core subject areas in the classroom, and you never know what interest these kind of events may spark for students. But it was a great event, a lot of energy in the building, and the children were very attentive and very engaged. And I want to say thank you to the presenters for coming in and presenting, and also for the way they interacted with our children, because it was a positive event. The whole morning. I was there for a large part of the morning, and it was very positive, and just want to say thank you to everybody involved.
Okay, so Dr. Gainey, to close out our interview today, I just want to talk about the fact that we're heading into our holiday season. Next week is Thanksgiving, and of course, following Thanksgiving, we have a few weeks until we get into Christmas. So it can be a time of distractions. There's always a chance for inclement weather. What would be your words of advice or encouragement to students and teachers during this time of year?
Well, you mentioned weather, and as we move into the winter months, we don't know what the winter weather is going to be like. So what I would stress with the students is to take advantage of every day of school and every day of instruction, because we don't know what interruptions we may or may not have, particularly after the winter break in January and February. We've had a couple winters that have had a lot of time out because of snow and ice and all and bad weather. So I just would ask the students to stay as focused as they can, take advantage of these instructional days between now and Thanksgiving break, and then after that, between that break and the winter break. And just you know, I know the time during this time period, there's a lot of excitement because of the holidays, and we want everybody to enjoy their holidays with their families and all, but the same token is we need to make sure we're using these instructional days to the greatest extent possible, because again, once we turn into January and February, we never know what the winter weather is going to bring. So while we have some days that may, you know, we're not going to have interruptions for weather, hopefully we won't have any in November and December. Let's take advantage of those and then come back after the breaks and be ready to go and finish the year strong, second half of the year strong.
So So thank you, Dr. Gainey, and thank you to Sean Hildreth, principal here, and his fine staff at Southwestern Randolph High School. We thank them for the opportunity to come to their school, and we thank the community for allowing us to be here, and also to Randolph Communications. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you in December.